So it's from the Sports Business Journal, fellas. Headline is, Kroenke threatens to settle St. Louis suit separately from NFL teams. It is by Ben Fisher. I don't want to read the whole thing. I'll read the first paragraph here. The fight between Rams owner Stan Kroenke and the rest of the NFL owners over the high-stakes St. Louis litigation has escalated, with Kroenke threatening to settle separately and leave the NFL on its own in a January trial unless there is a promise to spread the liability. In an email sent to league officials, other owners, and their lawyers yesterday, Kroenke's reps said they want to settle the case, and they believe they can for $500 to $750 million. Mediation is set for Tuesday. They think it's their last chance to avoid the trial in January, but it sure sounds like Stan Kroenke is ready to go rogue and say, look, if you don't help me, I'll settle my part. Remember, this lawsuit is against the Rams, Stan Kroenke, and the NFL. And we all say this many, many times. We're not lawyers, but a lot of smart lawyers have reviewed that indemnification agreement, and apparently the word damages isn't in there. So it wasn't the best written clause, which you'd think the NFL and 32 billionaires would have a better written indemnification clause, because it seems like Kroenke does have a loophole that he's going to say, look, I'll pay for the fees, the legal fees, the lawyer fees, but the damages, I'm looking at this clause, and I think I can fight you on this, and you all got to help. That's pretty dang interesting. Does it surprise you at all? It does not surprise me. Stan Kroenke cares about one thing. Even in the billionaire boys club, he's now fighting with them. Remember, he cares about poor people.
Yes.
The reason he moved
Military.
the stadium is he cares about the low-income folks, the Los Angelinos. We all heard that. Isn't that funny, though? Isn't that funny? You trusted this guy, Jerry Jones. He vouched for him. He said, guys, this is great for the league. And it is. It's great for the league to have the beautiful stadium in L.A., but it's just hilarious.
Okay.
It's hilarious as he now turns on all the other
Well, why
owners.
wouldn't you?
I
Why
get
wouldn't
it.
you? So what does that mean, though, for people that are listening here, our lovely audience, who want him to go down, fall, dig himself a hole as much as possible? What does this mean for St. Louis, for the money, for a team, for positivity in St. Louis? Not necessarily what's going on with him, because that could all happen, but what's going to happen to us that we could see and feel and understand? Potholes, what? Like, what's the next step?
So, and Jim, I'd like to get your thoughts as well. We can only go by what we hear. We talk to a lot of people locally. I do think, here's what I'll say. Every time I talk to a local person, local lawyer, local official, or I'm reading an article from a local person or listening to a podcast or an interview, somebody who knows the story, every time I talk to somebody like that, and I feel like we have a conversation about once a week with somebody.
Yeah.
They are not high on the expansion outcome.
Yeah.
Basically saying it is not very likely. However, it seems like all the national folks, and I know Conduct Detrimental, the podcast, they've done a great job. Mike Florio, he's been out front. It seems to be more of the national media that's really pushing.
What does that mean, though?
The expansion narrative. And then it comes to us and we talk about it. I'll be the first one to say, we've talked about it a lot. I don't know if it's going to happen. I've said the whole time, I think it's less than 50%. Maybe we should talk about it less. Here's what I know from legit reports. You have a legit report from that AJ Perez last week that said Kroenke tried to settle for $100 million, and it was no. Here's the most recent article today where Kroenke says now they believe they can settle for $500 to $750 million. It keeps going up. And by the way, is that number even accurate? We keep hearing B's.
I want
We keep hearing
trillion.
billions. Well, I want a team. I've said that a million times.
Yeah.
The money's great, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, and people say, "Oh, you're in radio." Of course, no. It's me being selfish.
Well, how about your daughter going
It's
to the
my
games?
family
Yes.
cheering for a team. It has nothing to do. Yeah, of course, we want to have a team to talk about on the radio, but wouldn't you just want a team? I get it. We might not get a team. More so, though, you have these guys by the short and curlies,
Excuse me?
by the balls.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It goes from $100 million offer. Now he thinks he can settle for $500 to $750 million. Let me tell you this, though. Who has all the leverage in the world? Is this when you want to settle if you're St. Louis? If that number's true, that Stan Kroenke truly believes he can settle for $500 to $750 million, if you're St. Louis, do you settle for that? When it's like, dude, he already knows he's going to lose for that number. Why not go to a trial and press your luck?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
what do you think?
watch
What
that.
do you guys think?
I agree with that. What do you think, Jim?
I mean, take them all the way. If you're going, go all the way. You've come this far. I can't imagine there's a reason why you think you're not going to get anything. So press it.
Well, I want
a team too, and I said that. And you brought something up there where you said the national people are talking about a team; they're not talking about anything else. And I think the reason for that is another team and a national story affects all the other every other team, every other city. It's like, whoa, hey, there might be more games, might be a new team. Were they going to be in our division? But if it's just about money,
no one cares.
The people in Seattle could care less that the city of St. Louis gets any money from the any NFL owners. They go, oh, well, so what? That doesn't affect me, doesn't affect my team, doesn't affect the league at all. I think that's part of the reason. But you brought up something that's really cool and true, though, is nationally it's all about expansion. It's nothing about dollars. Dollars, they don't really mean anything. Nobody can relate to that kind of money anyway, for the most part.
Well, Charlie and I make a ton of money, so we know about $750 billion.
I just hate to say it, but I'm just being honest with you. Uh-huh. Of course I want St. Louis to win. I think they're going to win. All I'm saying is we talk about this from a sports standpoint, and I'm sorry. Whether it's $500 million, $750 million, $1 billion, $2 billion, $1.5 billion, I'll give a golf clap, but I'm sorry. This whole thing was about losing the team. To me, the win is getting another team. I understand that money is a win. I'm just saying I think that will be a hollow victory for the sports fans of St. Louis. I
agree with you, man.
And again, every single person who has a Twitter account or a media blog has put out a poll. Do you want a team? Do you want the money? And everything I've ever seen is at least 70% team.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Wait, somebody, Charlie, you sound silly. Wouldn't you want a Metro link from Wentzville to East St. Louis?
Hey,
with that money?
Hey, it's infrastructure week.
Yeah.
No, the money, look, the money will do good things.
I
understand there will be some waste. I get that. I understand that everybody hates politicians these days. I understand that. We all do.
Yep.
That money will go to good things. Will some of it be wasted on projects you don't like? Of course. Yep. I do believe if they got $1 billion, I truly believe that would help. That would help a lot of folks. It really would.
I think you're right.
A lot of lawyers are going to get paid. Hey, maybe you fix up the dome.
Or how about the pothole? How about you fix a pothole?
Potholes.
And then be like, look what we did, guys. We love you.
Jeff Rainford, who is the chief of staff, and this video out there, Martin Kilcoyne did a great interview. I put it on YouTube, Kilcoyne Conversations. He said what he would do with that money, dump it into the hospitality industry in making the Dome and the Convention Center, once again, a world-class or a convention center that can compete in the country with other
and then bring in more money.
Centers because you're competing for these events.
I
was talking with Frank Viverito of the St. Louis Sports Commission earlier this week, and he said, for the Dome, look, we have nice facilities here. We got Busch Stadium. Enterprise Center just got the nice upgrade. That's a really nice building for hockey. But, and we've gotten these gymnastics events right at Shea Fits and wrestling and all that. And by the way, those guys bust their ass to get those events that bring a lot of money, a lot of tourism dollars, restaurants, hotels. We all know that, blah, 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 blah. But what he was saying is, if you're trying to get a Final Four, you have to compete. Your building has to be as good or better. Like, you can't compete with SoFi Stadium in L.A. right now. You can't. No. You can't compete with Jerry World in Dallas. No. But
can't compete with
or their
Atlanta.
practice facility.
Right, Atlanta. But you need to have your buildings, and to use a Kroenke term, stadia, you need that to be as good or better than Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Nashville.
Oil stuff.
No, I know. I know. Not every single building. But again, if you're going to get a Final Four, that has to be at the Dome. Or that has to be at a facility that can hold that number of people, 50, 60,000 people. I don't know if we'll ever get a Final Four again, but we had one.
Here's the point. If the people of St. Louis can directly see where this money's going, then I'm like, okay, you're going to build that up? Okay, all the other stuff that you have, like, okay, we know it's going to be wasteful. That's what you guys are great at, and that's what you're going to do. But as long as you show something that's going to be built up. And Fungo has a great point on this. He goes, take the money and let everybody have strippers and cocaine. And I'm like, that's kind of I kind of get that, you know? I'm joking.
There's no laws.
I'm joking.
There's no laws for one day. Let me read one more part of this article. This is what I love. Another part of this is, these owners are all ticked as hell at Stan because they're leaking everything. The Seth Wickersham article, whoever he talked to, I don't know who he knew in the room, whether it was an owner or somebody in there representing a team, they basically told him everything. Why? Because it made Stan look bad. Because all the owners right now are pissed at what Stan Kroenke is doing. Another quote. This was a quote, by the way, from this email. Somebody has leaked this email to Ben Fisher of Sports Business Journal. So here it is. It's a quote from the email. Quote, if we continue to not get any assurances from the league, this is coming from Kroenke and the Rams. If we continue to not get any assurances from the league regarding allocation of damages, we will have no choice but to try to resolve the case on behalf of only the Rams and Mr. Kroenke. We do not want to do that. We want everyone's participation. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
They don't want your money. They want your participation.
Yes, of course.
Or some assurance from the league that a settlement will be allocated fairly. But we have not gotten that assurance to date, nor any suggestion that the league will try to settle the case and address allocation later, end quote. Wouldn't it be hilarious? I just want chaos. I root for chaos. Wouldn't it be hilarious if St. Louis was able to settle with just the Rams and Kroenke, and then you had this whole other situation with all the other NFL owners, and they would all be so mad at Kroenke? That would be pretty funny.
That'd be cool. But then what? I mean, but then what, though? So they're mad at Kroenke, and it's kind of cute and funny if you're watching, if you're not watching. But how the potholes doing? How's the crime? How the police? What are we doing downtown?
We can
I need
fix
to
that now.
see something.
I don't think the Rams settlement or trial money is going to be the golden ticket to save the city.
Well,
by the way, even if we
what
get
is
it,
then?
When's it coming? 2
What
years
is
from now?
then?
How many appeals?
Well, we're talking about it every damn day. We want to see something.
It's super interesting.
Well, no doubt. If you get a bunch of money, it's going to help out St. Louis. But it's like, on the other hand, it's like, what else is going to help St. Louis if we don't get this coin? We magically can get a couple billion that we're going to trust the politicians to put towards something positive? No. So we talk about this every damn day. I want to see where this money is going to go. I want to see those potholes filled up. Maybe Washington Avenue maybe they could build Harry's back up. Can we do that? I'm telling you right now, a lot of people will go spend some money at Harry's, baby.
That's
What's
infrastructure.
the soccer field now?
Harry's is part of Infrastructure Week locally.
Well, there you go.
Cammer,
Yo.
anything on your end before I know you got to step out? Here we got Andrew Kaufman stepping in and talk a little Mizzou athletics.
We already talked about the stripper cocaine thing. Yeah, slip from Stan chimes in and goes, oh, yeah, give me a team any day. Shite, I live in St. Louis. It's a bluff by Stan to get NFL to contribute. Rob from the poor side of Webster. It's a bluff by Stan to get in. Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
That man doesn't care about anything else but money. You don't think he'd actually do that? That's my point. You don't think he would throw all the other owners under the bus if he could legally?
Yeah.
He 100% would.
He can just throw money and make it go away. He doesn't care what happens. Go away.
I get the drama
the
part
league,
of things, but we just need to see where this coin's going to go.
I think it would be funny if that ever happened. Watch the league come back with all kinds of these emails that just turned up.
It's
Hey!
interesting.
Can we see more emails?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
as
we-
all
yeah,
hell.
like,
I want to see
Stan,
who's racist.
That's how you want to play it? I got all these emails and these correspondences from you on how you're gonna and what you're gonna do to St. Da 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 da.
Well, not only that.
Can we pick and choose some emails that we could
Oh, look, hey.
scrounge up?
Hey, John Gruden was also emailing you, Kevin Demoff. Maybe John Gruden was emailing Stan with some inappropriate
Same
memes,
verbiage. Funny.
with some inappropriate GIFs that you were laughing about.
Now, that's a different story.
Oh, there's all kinds. Again, I'm not talking about specifically the Rams, but you know that John Gruden, out of 650K emails,
Get on with
you
yourself.
know he was not the only one sending something inappropriate. Everybody with
He's
a
suing.
freaking functional brain knows that, and I hope he wins. And I hope they have to dump those emails
Me
out
too.
for everyone to look
Thank
at.
you.
It would be
now
awesome.
that's interesting.
Because hundreds of people would look really, really bad.
Yep.
And I root for the NFL folks to look bad nonstop. On that note,
yeah, cool.
we got to go. Cam,
Love you guys.
thanks, buddy.